It looks like it's that time again. It looks like I'm doing the show from my car again. What, I gotta take every Tom, Dick, and Crazy's comments seriously? Every guy come around here, oh, it's time for me to type a comment. You're so crazy. What made you think that? What made you think it was time for you to type a dang comment? This is more thinking about the Ortho Thugs comment section. People say the darndest things. Yids say the darndest things. Whoa, is it a cardinal? Is that a dead cardinal? Hell no. You'll never see a dead cardinal. That's not gonna happen. You'll never see a dead... Oh, almost died. Almost died. That would have been a cool episode. You'll never see a dead cardinal. That's a fact. You might see a dead bluebird, but if you ever see a dead cardinal, you might as well just turn in. You might as well just call it. Say, all right, that's it. I'm standing in my Pete jacket. I'm going downtown. It's over. Dead cardinal, it's over. I don't know if this is going to be an episode of doing the show from my car because I feel stupid right now. I feel like I've done a bunch of stupid stuff. Anyway, you know, my dogs are mating. Just keep doing that. It sucks. But it's getting a little cute. At first they would just cry and have their butts attached to each other and they would just look at you like, ah! I was like, you did this. You chose that. But now they're like being romantic and laying in the grass together, and that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I'm going to take a nicotine real quick. Nicotine! I don't know. Honestly, I only made this episode because I thought every Tom, Dick, and Crazy. I was like, that's a good freaking thing I came up with, and I don't want to forget it. Because Jim Bob was showing me a comment that we got on Ortho Thugs, so I was like, that's so crazy. People get so obsessed with words, dude. People become word turds. What happens to them is they become straight up word turds. That's etymological scatology. Etymology scatology. Word turds. Chill out. You're not going to find the truth by sitting around picking apart owl pellets. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're doing. You're sitting there dissecting a word, and you're like, once I get to the bottom of it, what? Nothing. You've dissected it, and what's beneath it all? Nothing. Words are simply there to transmit meaning. They change with the times. Somebody's like, you can't say thug because at one point they say thuggy, and that makes me think of a tuggy, and I keep going to a massage parlor and saying, can I have my tuggy? And then they say, don't you bug me, and bug me rhymes with thuggy, so you're giving me a panic attack and an erection. That's a you problem, sir. Nobody else thinks like that. You're weird. Stop being an etymology scatology. Stop being a word turd. Stop dissecting owl pellets. Just be normal. Just be normal. Normal? Normal's the cat from Garfield. So hot. Such a hot cat. Huge crush on that cat. Normal? So hot. Normal? So hot. Oh, bro. So hot? Oh, bro. So hot. Talk about getting a tuggy from a dang thuggy. Sorry. I'm sorry. Disgusting. I am sorry. You know, that's the thing about being able to just talk, you know. Sometimes you say something, you're like, yeah, I did that. Like on the show on Wednesday, I said something about wanting a bunch of sweet D's. What I was trying to say is I wish more black people were like Sweet D. She said, I ain't take no clothes, no shoes, no nothing, Jesus. I love her. I'd hang out in her house. But the thing is, you can't hang out with black people because they hate you. You have to make them slaves. I'm sorry. You have to make them slaves. Because then they respect you and you get to laugh. Oh, man. Imagine someone like, imagine Sweet D was your slave. Okay, so just hear me out. Sweet D is your slave, right? You're not being mean to her. She's just your slave. So she lives in your house. She cooks you macaroni and cheese, and she thinks black people invented macaroni and cheese. And you just say, they sure did, Sweet D. You just keep it coming. And cause who cares? Let her have that. Let her have that. Let her have that. They think they invented peanut butter too. Let them have that. That's fine. Doesn't matter. What matters is the peace in the home of having someone like Sweet D chattering around, talking to Jesus in the background. Gosh, that's so pleasant. Gosh, I want slaves. I really want slaves. It just would be nice. And then you know, that's the thing, because when you separate from black people, unless you really separate from them, that's the thing. Let's either get real close or get real far, if you know what I mean. Because when you do this thing where you're just like near each other, they just get this distrust in their head, and they think you're like mind controlling them and hitting them with vapor waves and George Clintons, and it's just no good for anyone. They come up with all these theories, and they think Mozart was black because only blacks can make music, and they don't trust you, and they won't. If you ask them to make you mac and cheese, they'll say, well, am I your slave? And they're not. But they could be. They could be. And I would be a good slave master. I'd be nice. I'd be so nice, dude. I'd be the nicest slave master, dude. I'd be so nice, dude. You have no idea. Like, I would hang out. Oh, man. Drink whiskey on the porch with my slaves all night. Drink whiskey on the porch with my slaves all night. Laugh and have a good time. Sing a little song. Jug band with my slaves. Get along. Get along, doggy. Get along, little doggy. Get along, doggy. Get along, little doggy. You know what I'm saying? Like, my slaves would love me, dude. My slaves would love me, dude. All right, this has been episode 3 of doing the show from my car. Thanks for monetizing me.